A massive cargo ship functions as a floating mini-city. 20 crew members live and work within its steel hull, representing 10 different countries. This scenario is driven by globalization, the invisible force of economic and technical interdependence that links nations together. That brings us to diversity, the physical coexistence of different ethnicities and backgrounds. But unlike a city on land, this crew is confined to a tight, high-pressure space for months at a time. Without a shared understanding of how to work together, this hyper-diverse environment becomes a ticking time bomb for operational chaos. To prevent that chaos, we have to look at culture. Think of it as an invisible rulebook inside every person's head, dictating what they believe is right, wrong, polite, or rude. When these invisible rulebooks clash, two major psychological threats emerge. The first is ethnocentrism, the assumption that a sailor's own cultural rules are the only natural way to do things. The second threat is prejudice. This is a judgment formed about a crewmate based on incomplete data or past experiences. These judgments are usually negative and self-oriented. They create immediate division and prevent anyone on board from providing effective leadership. Recognizing these invisible rules and biases is the only way to prevent the crew from turning on each other before the ship reaches port. Once the ship is at sea, culture directly shapes how every individual behaves on deck. The way a crew member perceives a stressful situation depends on what they learned from their specific upbringing. We see this friction in daily communication. An American officer might give a direct, face-to-face verbal order, while a Japanese officer expects the exact same instruction to be delivered as a formal written memo. It even dictates physical space. Different cultures have different standards for how close you should stand to someone during a conversation. These aren't just personal quirks. They are critical operational hazards that cause miscommunications and can derail the ship's mission. The solution to this friction is cultural intelligence, or CQ, the ability to adapt to different cultures. CQ begins with two internal components: drive to learn about new cultures and knowledge of how culture influences behavior. Then comes external application: strategy to plan for differences, and action to modify behavior with sensitivity. Cultural intelligence is a mandatory operational tool for team survival. It provides the ability to read a room and adjust to unfamiliar human behaviors. On board, it is the captain's job to forge these 20 conflicting rulebooks into a single unified working system. This is organizational culture, the specific way of life, expectations, and values holding the vessel together.
The captain builds this on two pillars: ethics, the moral principles distinguishing right from wrong, and norms, the standard ways tasks are accomplished. A leader must proactively identify legacy values that cause problems and strategically replace them with this new, shared culture. A strong organizational culture motivates the crew, prevents systemic conflict, and ensures the ship reaches its destination. While most of us don't work at sea, these invisible rulebooks apply to every environment we enter. Modern corporate offices, remote global teams, and diverse university campuses are all types of ships that require the same navigation. Success in these spaces requires you to actively map the organizational culture and deploy your cultural intelligence. Mastering the invisible rulebook of culture is the ultimate superpower for anyone leading a team in an interconnected world.